Am I live? Can you hear me? Someone's here. Whoever's here, can you leave it in the chat if you can hear me? Got my earbud in. Earbud. Everything's a pod. Let me know if you can hear me. If you could hit in the chat. What's up? Welcome to the class war. Welcome to the struggle. I'm Rob. Hit subscribe right in the corner. It's free for you. Means the world to me. And hit the little notification bell. I go live 5 days a week, every weekday, bringing you information, entertainment, things to think about. That's all it is. We're having a discussion. If you don't believe the class war is real, oh, naivete, as the French say. Is that a French word? I don't know. Probably got its origins in Latin. Um, but wealthy people are very organized, very well organized, and they are working every day tirelessly to strip you of your rights and keep you oppressed. Today we're not going to delve too much into the class war, but this is like, on the sidelines of the class war. Uh, it's a fascinating story about a GILA monster. If you don't know what a GILA monster is, oh, it's what's up. Happy birthday to you, Tamari. Old Tamari. Can you hear me? Hopefully you can hear me. That's a cool emoji. I don't know how we got that emoji. Um, Anyways, if you don't know what a GILA monster is, it's not a monster. It's a lizard. They're fascinating animals, though. I believe the only venomous. Hold on. Does it say there? Uh, Venomous reptile. They can't be the only venomous. No, no, no. I think they're the only venomous reptile in America. Because when you think Komodo dragons are reptiles, I don't know if they're venomous. I think they just discovered Komodo dragons are venomous. I think they thought before it was their saliva, but I think they actually did a study and they are venomous. Um, but yeah, we're going to talk about a Gila monster taking out its owner. And like I was saying the other day, sarcastically, what do you get for the man who has everything, right? I'm sure Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, probably tough to shop for them around birthday time, Valentine's Day, Christmas. So, Mackenzie Scott, I know you're divorced to Jeff, but you got half of his billions. Here's a gift idea. Gila Monster. Send it in a box. Poke a couple breathing holes. Just mail it over. Don't feed it. Let it be hungry when it gets there. And surprise him. Probably be a great surprise for him. But I guarantee you, these people don't have a Gila Monster. These Bill Gates types, the Richard Bransons, the Jeff Bezos. I mean, the guy went to space. Do you think he has a pet Gila Monster? No. Think he would love one? Yes. Probably would. So, I don't know. Sounds like a great pet. We'll get into the story of what this pet did to its owner in Colorado in just a moment. Um, so this is like tertiary to the class war. A few things I wanted to discuss before that, which are very class war-y. Class warfare-ish, not war-y. Um, so I've been listening to a lot of Kurt Cobain. A lot. If you haven't got the album With the Lights Out, Gila monsters and bearded lizards from Mexico are the two venomous lizards in North America. Thank you, bro. Um, Bearded lizards are venomous? I did not know that. But Gila monsters, I think, are like the big one because my best friend lived in Arizona for a while, and his dog was killed by a Gila monster. It bit it, and the dog passed. Um, so anyway, I've been listening to a lot of Kurt because it was his birthday. Happy birthday, Kurt Cobain too. A lot of awesome people born this week, isn't that right, Tasha? And Kurt was on the 20th. So naturally, going back through it, there's a lot of YouTubers that are posting some cool stuff about Kurt. Oh, beaded, not bearded. Beaded lizard. What the hell? I've never even heard of a beaded lizard. A beaded lizard. I'm gonna have to look that up. Um, so it was Kurt's birthday, and on YouTube, this guy released a rare uh, appearance by Kurt alone at a radio station in Seattle. So I listened to the whole thing, and it was real fascinating to hear this radio DJ in 1990 invite Kurt in. Kurt, I guess, called and said, I want to play some stuff. Could you just fathom that? And this is 1990, so they had already released Bleach. Um, I think this was just on the cusp of releasing Nevermind. So Kurt's already kind of established. And I mean, I worked in radio for 20 years, and this is what I loved about it. You know, you get artists that you become friends with, and they're like, hey, I want to play something new. I mean, this doesn't happen anymore. Radio has become an investment for corporations that were investment companies. It's become an investment for investment companies who basically buy these stations out of debt. The radio stations ultimately just want to turn a profit, and Ryan Seacrest is on every radio station in America. So we no longer have that pleasure of like local, intimate community radio, where Kurt Cobain just went on this little, I forget what it's called, K something, some little station in Seattle. You can look it up on, I think it's Elite Toaster is the YouTube channel if you want to watch it. But a lot of these songs that Kurt had are featured on the album that came out just a few years ago. It was a anniversary album called With the Lights Out. And listening to Kurt sing some of these things just by himself, you realize what an amazing artist he was. Uh, Lyrically, musically. We'll get into, I'm going to show you something. I don't know if you've ever seen this. This was a book I got from my birth. I was begging people to get me for my birthday. I forget if someone got it, my daughter, wife. And some people say they feel weird about owning Kurt Cobain's journals. I've heard that. But let's be honest. It says, if you read, you'll judge. And the other first thing it says, I don't know if this is going to be backwards. I'll read it to you real quick. It says, don't read my diary when I'm gone. I think this was a note to his girlfriend at the time. Don't read my diary when I'm gone. Okay, I'm going to work now. When you wake up this morning, please read my diary. Look through my things and figure me out. Brilliant, haunting. Um, Again, talking about this because Kurt's birthday this week. He would have been 57, I believe, which is weird to think of all the art we lost out on. The daughter who lost her dad. Oh, just so many different things. Uh, but Kurt, for those who don't know, it's like the funny part about Twitter nowadays is these young and idiotic Republicans who will tweet stuff like, I liked Rage Against the Machine before they got political. And then people will retweet and ratio them being like, do you understand? Rage was formed as a political band. Um, and I'm not sure how many people, like, it's always weird to me, like, these far right assholes that, sorry for the language, these far right nuts that will listen to certain music and not understand, like, this music is anti you. Kurt Cobain was woke, whether you want to admit it or not. Um, And the proof is not only in, like, if you know anything about his life, but I wanted to show you some of Kurt's comics that are in here. This one's called Mr. Mustache. Fascinating comic. And essentially, I'm not going to read some of this because it's got bad words in it, but he's like, first frame of Mr. Mustache. He was going to listen to his baby being born, and then that's how it ends up. And essentially, he's like, I'm going to show this. I want to read one part. I'll teach him how to work on cars and exploit women. And listen to those strong little legs kick. And then the baby kicks through his head. Um, that was Kurt's take on the guys who just want to work on cars and exploit women. And then this is such a fascinating book. If you can get it and you're interested in Kurt, I would highly recommend it. Where's this other thing? Here is another drawing that I love of Kurt's. I don't know if you could see that. I'm not going to keep it up for too long because I don't know what YouTube allows or not, but just fascinating stuff. So Kurt Cobain, very woke in the early 90s, was a dude that way ahead of his time, was a feminist, was an ally to the gay community, I'm trying to think what else, just everything you can imagine. People would have called him woke and tried to cancel. They would have hated if he opened his mouth because he was very. I mean, the guy got arrested a bunch of times, or once, at least once, but he used to spray paint "God is gay" on everything, which is just brilliant. It's hilarious and brilliant. Um, and that got me to thinking about the word woke. Because you see, I don't know if you follow Elon Musk on Twitter, but this guy is exhausting. He keeps tweeting about the woke mind virus. Like it's something, you know? And if you think about what if somebody talks about the woke mind virus, right? Being woke. I always like to think, well, what are they saying? What is the opposite of being woke? Being asleep? Elon Musk he wants his workers to be asleep. He doesn't want them to be um, awake to the things he's doing. He's trying to disassemble and get rid of the National Labor Relations Board. He's trying to call it unconstitutional through his company Tesla, and he's teaming up with the most wealthy people in the world, Jeff Bezos and Amazon. I'm sure Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, all those losers are probably in there. Which that the NLRB protects workers of their rights. They're the ones that fine people. Um, they fine companies. Sorry, they should be putting these CEOs in jail, but they fine these businesses when they violate workers' rights. I mean, if you've read anything about the deaths of workers lately, and even though the fines are minuscule, that 15-year-old that died, he, the company, the Alabama roofing company that fortunately had this 15-year-old working and the kid fell to his death, that company was only fined $117,000, which is insane. But that comes through the NLRB. So they're here to protect workers, even though they don't have teeth really, they can't do much. Hopefully we can give them some more power, some more funding, and at some point, maybe we could put the CEOs and the board members and the managers and the people calling the shots in prison. Then they'd learn their lesson. So when Elon Musk calls people woke and says it's a mind virus, it's because he doesn't want people paying attention. A lot of these billionaires don't want you to follow their money. They don't want you asking questions. They don't want you knowing what they're trying to do, how they're trying to strip your rights. That's why they, work to have this big PR thing of like, oh, I'm cool. I go on Saturday Night Live and smoke a jib with Joe Rogan on his podcast. They just want the perception of being cool, while behind the scenes they're doing everything they can to make this. And that's the weirdest part. They want to make, their power ultimate, it worse for their workers. They want people to not be able to question anything, to not be able to organize, to not be able to fight back. The guy in my town, there's a Tesla in my town. He tried to organize his shop over getting heat for the winter and AC for the summer in the garage that they were working in the Tesla garage, and he got fired. And he went right to the NLRB and said, hey man, he fired me for just trying to unionize. This is Elon Musk. This is his company. He's firing people just because they were trying to gather their workers together to demand heat and air conditioning. The wealthiest man in the world. The wealthy, or one of the wealthiest men in the history of the world. He's denying the guys that work down the street from me at that Tesla shop heat and air conditioning. I mean, it's no surprise. Not only does he not care about people, he ain't your friend. If you're an Elon Musk bootlicker, he hates you. And if you work for him, he would do everything he can to keep. I mean, just listen to what he said about his workers on the Tesla line, that they're going to have to sleep there. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Hold on. Maybe I'm hearing stuff. I don't know. Uh, so Elon Musk calling people the woke mind virus. Well, what does he want you to be? He wants you to be asleep. He don't want you paying attention to what he's doing. None of them do, because if you start paying attention, just like, he stopped paying rent at the Twitter headquarters, and he didn't care. This dude doesn't pay rent, but calls people, losers or woke mind virus for demanding better pay, so they can pay rent because they want to pay their rent. Meanwhile, this guy doesn't pay rent, and basically he, told these landlords to shove it. He could just take it to court forever. Not even get evicted. He just has the money to hold up the court case forever. That's this dude. You would not like him. He ain't your friend. Let's remember that. So when he's called, just remember, when anybody calls somebody woke, they're essentially saying, no, I want you to be asleep. I don't want you thinking about anything. Remember, old Uncle Noam Chomsky says a good country wants informed consumers, informed citizens making rational decisions. This is Noam Chomsky. I call him old Uncle Noam. He's not my uncle, but he's kind of all of our uncles, all of us in the dissident category. But old Uncle Noam always says, whether it be a government, a corporations, anything, anything with power, it would want its citizenry, and you see this, its population. You see this across the pond in the Europe. They want their population well informed, making rational decisions. He says here in America, the corporations, the ad companies, the government, they want you uninformed, making irrational decisions. So when people say you're woke or call you woke, uh, essentially, you could tell them it's better than being asleep. Is that what you want? You just want people to not question you, and a lot of them don't. A lot of them have thin skin, so they can't deal with it. The other thing I keep thinking about, because I keep seeing this word, it's like, I guess it's an election year, so it keeps popping up everywhere. But Antifa. And people, just so you know, if you see someone using the word Antifa, okay, they're using that specifically. Why? Because they don't want to say anti-fascist. Why? Because if they're saying that person's anti-fascist and I'm against them, they're my enemy because they're anti-fascist. What would make somebody that is the enemy of an anti-fascist? Let's just use some common sense. If you want to put it in the comments, first one wins. But if you're the enemy of an anti-fascist, well, that would make you fascist. So they have to use Antifa. Antifa takes on a whole new meaning. It doesn't even sound like anti-fascist. It sounds like what they created it to be, this illusion of some gang roaming the streets that just wants total anarchy, when really it's not a gang. It's a loose association of many people. Anyone can be anti-fascist, and you would hope everyone is anti-fascist, especially in America. It's weird because some of the people that claim to hate and want to be the enemies of Antifa also like to talk about freedom and democracy, which, if you know anything about fascism, uh, doesn't mix well with freedom or democracy. So just be highly aware. Again, here on the Class War and the Struggle, hit subscribe. I go live 5 days a week, weekdays. Hit the little notification bell because I can promise you 5 days a week. I can't promise you what time. You hit the notification bell and it will let you know when I go live. You could join me. And I'm always trying to just inform, educate, entertain. We'll get to the GILA Monster story in just a minute. But really, just think about that language. Language is so important. Go watch some George Carlin. He specifically talks about this. I make all my kids, when they're high school age, listen to George Carlin. I take them for a long car ride so they can't get out. I did that with the oldest. I said, oh, buckle up, because we're going to be listening to a few albums here. But it's good for you to think about that. And George Carlin laid it out perfectly. Yes, he was a comic, but he was more of a philosopher, and he had keen insights. Language is so important. So when they call you woke as a bad thing, they want you to be asleep. And when they talk about Antifa, what they're really saying is anti-fascist. Somewhere along the way, that was lost. And I have to stop myself, but whenever I see someone complaining about Antifa, Antifa this, Antifa that, we got to stop Antifa. Why do you got to stop it? Why do you want to stop anti-fascists? Because you're fascist? We got to stop that. It's just like in Kurt Cobain's journal, you know? He made it clear how he feels about Nazis in America and the KKK, and it still is befuddling to me that just the other day there was a story about the KKK, Nazi, whoever these people are, I don't know, marching down the street. They weren't the Proud Boys. They're definitely not proud because they're all masked up. And the irony of these people that don't want to wear a mask when it comes to protecting other lives, but will wear a mask when it comes to sealing their identity so they can't be identified and hopefully fired from their jobs. Well, most of them, let's be honest, are probably cops. So they probably get a promotion. But it's always weird to me, these racists that march in the street allegedly proudly while hiding their faces. That's how proud they are. Um, do they not understand we went to war over that? It's always confusing to me. Like, do they not understand? Like, we're not far removed. Like, my grandfather fought in that World War II. I think there were a lot of people's grandfathers. Uh, I mean, that's why we're like a couple generations removed. It's not that far away. I always want to say, like, let's get out the old World War II vets to come and tell these Nazi punks that are marching down the street what's up. I just don't get it. It's the most anti-American thing. In fact, it's just like the Confederate flag. These people are traitors to America. It's not American. Anyways, let's get into this Gila Monster story. So, just remember that. Woke, Antifa, they want you to sleep, and they're calling you anti-fascist for a reason. Because they're fascists. It's as simple as that. And I'm not making this up. This is not my opinion. I'm just spelling it out. I like to let people hear what they're saying. If they're complaining about anti-fascism, well, that would make them pro-fascism. Because if you're not against fascism, I hate to break this to these people, you're pro-fascism. Anyways, let's talk about this. This is a Gila monster. Look at that thing. These things are beasts. I'm so fascinated by them. Wouldn't want to get near one. Definitely not want to pick one up. And I've seen people on YouTube, these zoologists, that pick them up. I don't know how you do that. Just knowing that this thing's poisonous and one bite could be the end, I don't know. But it says authorities in Colorado, and the BBC article is linked in the description if you want to read along, if you want to read it later. Um, and please hit that subscribe button. Thank you to everybody who has been subscribing. Got a lot of new subscribers. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. And if you ever want to leave something in the live chat in the comments so I can shout you out, if you're a YouTube creator, I'd love to do that. I love connecting. There's a large, small creator community here on YouTube, and I feel like YouTube doesn't do enough to promote that. You got Mr. Beast and Joe Rogan in your feed and Russell Brand in your feed every 3 minutes. That's nice. They already got their followers. Let's promote some people with 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. You know, why aren't they doing that? I've always said YouTube has enough money to turn this app into, or the website, into something where you can filter the community, the creators, like Zillow. You know, on Zillow you can slide, like, how much do you want to pay? $0 to $5 million for a home. Why can't we do that here on YouTube? What kind of content do you want to see? From creators with 1 subscriber to 20 million to 100 million subscribers, you know, and you can hit in between 3,000, 1,000. They don't do that. They could. They're just lazy, and it would probably cost them money, and God knows they don't have enough of it. They got to hoard it all. Um, let's get back to this Gila Monster talk. Because again, I think this could be the perfect Christmas gift for the man who has everything. The billionaire who has everything. I bet they don't have a Gila Monster. I don't know. Authorities in Colorado confirmed the death of a 34-year-old local resident 4 days after he was bitten by one of his 2 pet Gila monsters. One wasn't enough. Maybe he was trying to breed them. Can you breed? Maybe he was trying to breed Gila monsters so he could sell them on the black market. This is a BBC article. It says the creatures are venomous reptiles native to the southwestern U.S. Like I said, I gotta have my buddy on here to tell the story. He was hiking in Arizona with his family and his dog. And look at this thing. That is a camouflaged lizard. In Arizona, in the Southwest, that is camouflage, baby. And it's such a cool design. I mean, nature is so fascinating. You think about, and he looks mean. Can I zoom in on this? Hold on. Look at how mean he looks. That looks like a little Godzilla. Look at that face, right? That looks like he would grow up to be Godzilla. Like heat ray Godzilla with those markings on them. Love these things. Never want to get near one, but I love them. So, it says the Gila monster's bites are not normally fatal to humans. Really? I don't believe that. But an expert, I mean, this guy died, and the second sentence in the story is not usually fatal. But again, I don't know nothing. I'm not a zoologist, an ornithologist, a husbandryist, whatever the word is, a lizardist. I'm not a geckoologist. I'm not a Gila monsterologist. But an expert told the BBC's U.S. partner, CBS News. Ooh, BBC's U.S. partner is CBS News? It changes my opinions on BBC. I always thought they were a little more legit. Turns out they're not. They're just CBS and they're just the British CBS. Thumbs down. Thumbs down, BBC. I did that to somebody the other day. They were driving by me. If you haven't watched Pat Finnerty on YouTube, amazing, one of the most amazing YouTubers ever. Look him up, the Pat Finnerty Show, Pat Finnerty, Finnerty. He does this series called What Makes the Song Stink. He's like a musical savant. Dude's a genius. And he loves Kurt Cobain. So good taste too. Uh, so definitely highly recommended the Pat Finnerty Show, What Makes the Song Stink. But in one of all of his lives or something I was watching, one of his series, he said instead of flipping people off, give them the thumbs down. He said it's much more impactful. It's like, telling them like bad moves in life. Like I don't approve of your lifestyle. So he said give people a thumbs down when you're driving. And I like that more. It's less combative and it sends the message of what you want to. So I did that the other day to somebody and they looked baffled. They did not understand. They couldn't compute. I think they would have rather me flip them off so they could get angry. A thumbs down, you could tell there was like some kind of guilt from disappointment in them. It was hilarious. So I highly recommend Pat Finnerty and giving people thumbs down when you're driving if they cut you off. All right, back to the Gila monster story. Again, this could be a great gift for the billionaire who has everything. So Mackenzie Scott, I don't know if he's still doing gifts at Christmas time with Mr. Bezos, but he probably doesn't have a Gila monster. So, it says the last human death from such a bite is believed to have been 1930. Wow, so maybe they aren't deadly to humans. That incident was not even a medical journal case. How's that feel? Got bit by a Gila monster, and they're like, don't mark it in the medical journal. We don't like that guy. Dr. Nick Bradenhoff, a medical toxicologist, that's what it would be, a toxicologist and reptile expert, told CBS Colorado. The vast majority of bites cause local swelling and bleeding. Yeah, but if they're venomous, that venom's got to do something to us humans. It can't just be okay. Has anybody been bit by a Gila monster? Somebody has to have been, right? Scooting around in the desert late at night, you don't see one, you step on its tail, it snaps you in the ankle because you're not wearing boots. If you have, reach out to me. I'd like to talk to you. All right. It says, added that last week's deaths highlighted that any venomous animals should be respected. That needs to be highlighted. God, we have failed as a society. We have truly failed as a species if it needs to be highlighted that any venomous animal needs to be respected. The Jefferson County victim, who has not been identified, probably for embarrassment reasons, reportedly owned 2 of the carnivorous reptiles. Again, I think he was probably this is just my opinion, I don't know, but probably trying to breed them to sell Gila monster eggs. I wonder if you could crack those over an open fire and eat them up. I don't know. Can you just eat any eggs? Would the eggs be poisonous? Again, I'm not a toxicologist. I don't know. Gila monsters are the largest lizards in the country and can grow to about 22 inches in length. For those of you across the pond, that's 56 centimeters. According to the Smithsonian Institution. And they're named after the Gila River. I did not know that. Gila Monster, Gila River. Where does the monster part come from? Because it's terrifying. The creature that bit the man on Monday, February 12th, was a juvenile that only measured about 12 inches long, so we probably didn't respect it. Again, if you're just joining, we're talking about Gila monsters and how they might be the perfect gift for that billionaire in your life. The man was taken to the hospital and died last Friday. The Jefferson County Coroner's Office had performed an autopsy but is conducting additional toxicology testing to determine a precise cause of death. This is weird to me. I get it, but he was bitten by a venomous lizard. Like, it's like when Betty White died, you know? Nobody was like, this is suspicious. They were like, man, she lived a good life. What was she, like 178? You know, like, it's pretty obvious at that point. You know, if somebody really old passes away, you're not like, we need an investigation into this. Who done it? It's one of those things. It probably goes without saying. You know, if you're that old, you get your Schmucker's birthday. What is it? The Smucker's birthday thing on the Today Show. Do they have like a death one? I know they get the birthday. Like, we wish you 101 years young today on Smucker's. Um, so that's not a death thing. So you don't get that. They should have, what's the anti? They should have like a peanut butter Peter Pan. Peter Pan peanut butter says, we just lost the 103-year-old today. They should have that. So then they go on in the article to say, and the article's linked below. If you're just joining, please hit subscribe. I go live 5 days a week, weekdays. I can't promise what time. I just promise 5 days a week. So if you hit subscribe and the little notification bell, you'll get notified when I go live. We talk about everything in the class war, the struggle, and sometimes just entertaining stuff, okay? That's all. We just want to think about what could be potentially a good pet for the man who has everything. Billionaires probably have everything. Do they have a pet Gila monster like this Colorado guy? Probably not. Might be a great pet. Who knows? You just let him run around the house. I wouldn't do that if you have dogs or cats. Okay, so they say it's illegal to own a Gila monsters. Oh, just in that state without a license. I'm sure my brother lives in Florida. I'm sure you could own like 14 before you have to register them. Soon enough, Florida's going to have a Gila monster infestation problem. The man also owned tarantulas, which are not illegal to own. I'm guessing this man was single. Um, Colorado's Parks and Wildlife criminal investigators told CBS his team had been asked to remove the 2 Gila monsters from his home. Oh, not the guy. They had to remove the Gila monsters. They were probably going to prison. These Gila monsters might be facing involuntary manslaughter charges, right? They didn't know the bite was going to kill them. They thought it's just usually swelling, but now both Gila monsters were taken away in cuffs and questioned separately. I wouldn't listen. Just the other day, a cop shot at someone, right, because an acorn fell in his car. I wouldn't be surprised if they went in here with the SWAT team, guns blazing, to put little handcuffs on the Gila monsters. All right, you come with us. Click. We're taking you downtown to the pound. We're going to question you under the lights. The desert-dwelling lizards will be taken to they're going to be taken to a wildlife rehab in another state. See, they got to remove them. This is a high-profile case. They're like, we got to get these guys out of town. But the animal that bit the man will be first transported this week to a lab. There, its venom will be extracted and studied to learn more about why its bite led to the owner's death. I got an idea. Maybe because it's venomous. This is insane. But again, we have money for this and not money to like feed kids. Boston Rob fan, what is going on, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. You already hit the subscribe, but if you haven't, hit the notification bell. Remember, I'm going live 5 days a week, weekdays. I just can't promise what time. I can give you my word that I'm doing 5 days a week. The time, it gets iffy. Like today was hectic. Had to take my son to the doctors. The family's been sick forever. But I made the promise, so is it Friday night? I don't even know. And if I can, I'll go live on the weekends. But for right now, I can give you my word on 5 days a week. So if you hit that, Boston Rob fan, if you hit that, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up in the chat. He's asking about, are you going to play Fortnite tonight? I'm glad you came in because I wanted to tell you something about Fortnite. But if you hit the notification bell, whenever I go live, it will notify you. And that was the whole story about the Gila monster. Just to wrap it up, look at that thing. I mean, they are adorable. It's got a face like Godzilla. Look at that. that thing I mean, that looks like a baby Godzilla. Like, that's going to grow up to fight King Kong one day. That creature is amazing. Just the markings, the little angry face. If you haven't seen one of these on YouTube, they have some videos of like, why not to touch a Gila monster? And the thing like turns around and snaps back at people. If you just told me it was venomous, I wouldn't want to touch it anyway. So, I'm one of those people that respects the venom. Unlike in this article, how they were like, we need to really highlight to people that you got to respect the venomous creatures. We've failed as a species. So again, just like the title says, I don't know how you get your hands on one of these things. If you just that's what it should say. If you got to have it says it's illegal to own them without a license. Gila monsters in the state, so it was illegal to own this thing. He had to get a license. Where did he get it from? Because would a pet store sell? I mean, I have so many questions. If you've ever been bitten or owned a Gila monster, reach out to me. I want to talk to you on the channel. Because this is insane. Like, where do you get one? Craigslist? The black market? The dark web? Did he just go out? Did he take a vacation to Arizona and catch one? Catch two? He owned two of them. Did he go catch them and then bring them back in his carry-on? I need to know more. The BBC, you're the CBS of the UK, and it shows in your reporting because, man, oh man, do you leave out some of the information that I desperately want to know. Where do you? I've been to a few pet stores in my time. I used to go to pet stores back in the day when they had pets. Now they just have a couple cats you can maybe adopt. Most of the time they don't even. And then they got them puppy mill stores, which is gross. But I remember pet stores back when there were iguanas and parrots and all that stuff. Now they just got like fish and a bird that's been there for too long. How do you get a Gila monster? I've never seen a Gila monster in my life. That's insane. I've seen a scorpion. I think I've seen a poisonous frog, maybe. I'm trying to think what else. We should do a video. We'll go to the pet store and see what they got. So, I mean, I need a follow-up article, BBC. I want to know how he got him. It's funny that they're going to remove him out of the state and bring him to another place. They're going to take him to a rehab. Because, I mean, I'm assuming after a Gila monster kills someone, they need rehab. If they're not going to prison, they got to take them to rehab and be like, listen, man, you can't be killing people like that. So anyways, yeah, I would just imagine you got to get these on the dark web. I truly don't know how you buy one of those. That's so weird. And Craigslist, I mean, if you're selling them on Craigslist, do you trust the person? Or are you like, why are you, it's like Piffles. Like, why are you getting rid of this? Was he aggressive? Is he good with cats? Do you do the same with the Gila monster? Are you like, what happened? Did he bite anybody? I have so many questions. So, if the billionaire in your life already has everything, maybe they don't have a pet Gila monster, and they would look adorable running around in the house. I don't know what you feed them, but I'm sure they just have a litter box. They poop in the litter box, and you're good. All right, Boston Rob fan. I just had to wrap up that story. So I wanted to tell you, I finally connected. I finally figured it out how to connect my Twitch with my Fortnite. And if you go, so if you're ready to take it down, so my Twitch is Comrade, COMRAD. I had to spell it like that because the other one was taken. So COMRAD, Comrade Crow, CROW. Comrade Crow is my Twitch, and I've been streaming on Twitch Fortnite. So if you go follow me, if you have Twitch, or if you can go on Twitch and you follow me on there, you'll see me going live on Fortnite. We got a little team. These these young heads like to go at it. We were playing earlier, depending on how tonight goes. I don't know what time it is. Yeah, I might play a game or two later. So I don't know what your handle is on Fortnite, or if you got a Twitch, but you got to let me know, because most of the time if I get a request, I block it. So just let me know what your stuff is, or if you go, what's your rank? See, this is the issue I have. I'm only at gold 3. So I don't know what your rank is, Boston Rob fan, but if your rank is like platinum, because I was playing with these cats that were platinum the other day, and we were getting smoked. And I'm trying to get to platinum, because once you get to platinum, if you don't know, in Fortnite, there's a Fortnite Championship Cup, or I forget what it's called, but there's a championship cup with essentially you play for money if you finish in the top whatever. But you have to get up to platinum, and once you get up to platinum, then you qualify for the cup, and you can start competing for money. So I was trying to get my account up to platinum, but listen, man, I'm only at gold 3, so if you're platinum or above, I might not be able to hang. And do you do build or no build? I play build, but I'm horrible at building. So maybe you should watch me play on Twitch before you're like, yo, let's get down. I got a lot. Listen, man, I'm old. I remember like Mario Brothers, okay? Oh, you're silver? Oh, then we could totally play. You're gonna have to play at my level. So whoever plays the highest, so when I was playing with the guy that was platinum, it didn't matter if I was the party leader. I had to play at the platinum level, and we just kept getting smoked. So if you're silver, then you'll have to play at gold 3 with me. Zero build. That's what my daughter plays. Yeah, me and her played. We came in second or third. Um, but zero build's fun. Your mind has to be. You have to remind yourself every second that you can't build, because when you build, you can climb up high on people. You can protect yourself. So, but yeah, I'm totally down. So again, go follow my Twitch, Comrade COMRAD Crow CROW, and then we can connect through there. Um, Or if you want to leave your handle in the chat, I can find you later if I go on, or tomorrow, because I'll probably play this weekend. I love streaming. It's fun streaming on Twitch. So yeah, we definitely connect on there, man. I've been getting Fortnite's fun, and I've been getting into it because my son really loves it. And I don't know if you know, the new update's coming out in like 15 days. And they're doing a whole Greek mythology thing, and there's rumors of Godzilla coming into Fortnite, which, man, that's great. Talk about a Gila monster. Pretty sure that's where they came up with the backstory for Godzilla. It's just a little Gila monster until what were they testing out in the desert in New Mexico? The 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 atom bomb? Something? They were testing bombs out in New Mexico like in the 50s, right? Isn't that what the whole Oppenheimer thing's about? I don't know, I didn't see it. Um, that's probably how Godzilla started. Now that I think about it. Probably testing bombs out in the desert. Some of that radiation got onto the Gila monsters. They went into the cave. They weren't feeling good. And then Godzilla. What time? I don't know, man. I'm going to wrap up this live stream in probably like 2 minutes. And then maybe in like half an hour, I'll be on. Half an hour from now, I think. So, yeah, if you follow me on Twitch, you'll see my stuff. You can talk to me in the comments, and then we can connect on there. You can join up with me through Twitch. And if anybody else is watching and you want to follow me on Twitch, Comrade Crow. I like to stream Fortnite. I just don't like. I only got a few games. Spider-Man, Avatar. I think we had Hogwarts and Fortnite. So yeah, man. And thanks for joining the chat. It's good to see you again. Good to see you getting in here. I'm glad you can make it. I know I've been doing most of the live streams a little bit earlier, but tonight, just a long day. It didn't go as planned. That's why I did a little bit of a shorter live stream talking about that Gila Monster stuff. And yeah, I want to go live again, but if I can't do it this weekend, I'll be back Monday. So please, I want to thank everybody who has been subscribing. And if you do subscribe, make sure you hit the little notification bell right down there after you hit subscribe. Hit notifications, set it to all. Um, because when I do go live, again, it's not going to be a set time until this YouTube thing becomes more permanent, which we're getting there. Let me tell you, thank you to everybody who's been helping me subscribe and liking things, watching things, because if I could turn this YouTube thing into a more permanent position, I can dedicate a little more time to it. I can dedicate an exact time. I would love to go 7 days a week. God, that'd be my dream. You know what? Maybe I'm crazy, but I keep thinking like, yo, if I ever hit the lottery, this is what I would do full time. I would build myself a little studio, be able to get, set up where I could bring the stories up on the screen, and this is what I would do all day long. I would love it. That and stream. So thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining the class war, the struggle. If you're going through it, leave it in the comments. I'll pray for you. I know it's hard out here, so solidarity with you, workers of the world, unite. Stay informed. Know your rights, because if you don't know your rights, you don't know where to stand your ground. It's very important to remember that, and just look out for each other. Be kind, love one another. Listen, us working class people, we're just trying to survive. That's all it is. Okay? That's the biggest thing that hurts me. Every time I hear people call full-time workers, people who work full-time, doesn't matter what the job is. These people that work in 40 hours a week, sometimes 2 jobs, they call them lazy. I've heard a couple people do it this week. And it really bugs me and it hurts me, because anybody working full-time isn't lazy. Okay? And we don't know their situation, They could be whatever is going on in their life. They might only be able to work a certain kind of job. But irregardless, like, they're not lazy. Anybody working full time isn't lazy. They're trying to survive. And we need to correct that mindset. It's most of these like old timers that keep doing it. They're retired. They don't have to worry about it. They grew up in a whole different time, generation, culture. People working nowadays, they're not lazy, and they're just trying to survive. So like I was saying earlier, I tweeted earlier, I said it wouldn't bother me if everybody was on food stamps. Wouldn't. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if every worker was on food stamps. You know what would bother me? Or what does bother me in that situation? The, the people who are wealthy, the billionaires, these job creators that are paying people so little, they have to be on food stamps. It's amazing in that scenario, so many people will defend the billionaires, defend the wealthy people, and call the people working their ass off, irregardless of what they're doing as a job. Irregardless. The people that are working full-time, working their buns off just to pay rent, just to get to work, just to afford groceries. And some people are calling them lazy. It don't make sense. It's mean and it's cruel. I have an issue with the people who have enough money to buy food for 20 lifetimes. And they're hoarding it all, and they're not paying the people who are making them that wealth. Don't forget, the workers create the wealth, okay? Jeff Bezos ain't delivering your Amazon packages. Elon Musk ain't building your Tesla. He didn't even come up with Tesla. He bought the company from two actual smart people, just like Twitter. He bought that and destroyed that. I mean, this dude is a nightmare. And he ain't paying his people enough. Meanwhile, he's got all the money in the world and not paying rent. So we got to correct this mindset. We got to get the word out, help educate, inform, and entertain people all at the same time to change that. Stop the stigma. Wake people up to the reality that anybody working one job, 2 jobs, they're not the issue. They're the ones contributing to the economy. They're the ones trying to buy local. They're the ones making this economy go. They're the ones that, for real, are the most vital to our communities. The people with all the wealth, that are hoarding all the wealth, that are, oppressing people, fighting people to pay them a living wage, they're the problem. All right, Boston Rob fan. I love all the emojis. I don't know how we got those. I gotta look into that. I'm still new at the live streaming thing, so I thank you guys so much for joining me. Boston Rob fan, big shout out to you. Love your handle, but more importantly, I love that you're showing up, and thank you for all the comments. And hopefully we connect on Fortnite a little bit later. Again, the class war, the struggle, live 5 days a week, weekdays. Can't promise the time, so when you hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Pin me in one of your videos, the comments. Yeah, let me look into how I can do that. I don't know if the live chat is the same as comments. It might be a separate thing. But if you leave a comment on this video after, like outside of the live stream chat, just leave a comment and I'll pin it. And I think that's how I can pin it. I'm pretty sure. Guess what? What's up? I'll let you type while I just thank everybody for subscribing. All the people who have subscribed, it means the world to me because I hate my part-time job. I get paid $5 an hour. I'm really trying to make it at YouTube. I'm trying to bring you information. I'm trying to entertain you. Hopefully we have a laugh. More importantly than anything, we're spreading awareness of really what's going on. So thank you so much. It's your dad's birthday tomorrow. Get out of here. It's my sister-in-law's birthday tomorrow. A lot of birthdays this week, and it was Kurt Cobain. You're probably too young to know who Kurt Cobain is, but look him up. A very important person, voice of my generation, one of the most brilliant artists of all time, amazing lyricist, musician, uh, and then mixed media arts too. He was a sculptor, a painter, all these things. So happy birthday to your dad. Big shout out to him. Big shout out to Tasha. Happy birthday. Big shout out to Kurt. Happy birthday. Rest easy, Kurt. We miss you. And thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the struggle, the class war. I love you. Keep fighting, and I'll see you tomorrow. Or maybe not tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. That's why you got to hit the notification bell, because you never know when I'm going to go live outside of at least 5 days a week. All right. Peace. It's your mom. On my mom's side, they had a baby. Ooh. Oh, that's rad, man. My brother just had his second baby, and most beautiful baby in the world. Oh my God. My heart melts every time I see that baby. And it sucks. See, that's the other thing. That's what we're working for. Like, man, when I was growing up, you could visit family. It wasn't an arm and a leg to fly and buy groceries and pay for gas. And now we're not getting paid enough. I can't even go see my new niece. That's all I'm fighting for. And people call me lazy and tell me, to get a real job. I had a real job, and it was still expensive to go visit family. I'm sorry, I don't live in the same town as I always have. I don't have parents, and I have to travel. So it sucks, man. That's all we're asking for is some decency for our wages to keep up with, a life to be able to afford to live. Dumbest saying in the world. They had a baby today. Well, God bless them, man. I hope you get to spend some time with that baby. It's the most important time in the world. They're so precious at that age. So, man, you got a lot going on. I'm very excited for you. Uh, that's really rad, man. That is, it's just one of the most miraculous times in the world when somebody has a baby. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it in the world. All right, I gotta go, Boston Rob fan. I'll talk to you soon. Go find me on what's it called? Twitch. Comrade Pro on Twitch. Thank you. Peace.